feet. They support us. They carry us from place to place. They transport us throughout our lives. Though we use our feet constantly, we tend to take them for granted. Strong, flexible feet are essential to your overall well-being. They need exercise just like the rest of your body. In fact, they need special attention. As we age, our circulation slows. Since the feet have the least amount of circulation, they are the first parts of the body to stiffen. Foot problems can hold people back as they get older by requiring the use of special shoes, not being able to wear high heels, and by limiting their overall mobility. Footwakers were designed by Body Logic and body rolling creator Yamuna Zake to keep feet strong and healthy. Looking at the needs of several individuals, Yamuna developed the Footwaker system and accompanying exercises to help people keep their feet healthy and strong throughout their life. If you follow the Footwakers program, you will improve your gait and allow for greater ease of movement in your knees, hips, and torso. As your range of motion is increased in your foot and you learn to use your whole foot when you walk, then you'll feel the blood moving upward, increasing your circulation and energizing the rest of your body. You'll increase your foot flexibility, muscle tone, and strength. Your feet will be able to take you wherever you want to go for the rest of your life. Yamuna believes taking care of the body should be easy and available. Her goal is to give people a way to take care of their own bodies at home, work, and when traveling. Yamuna's life is about helping people feel better, move better, gain strength, and eliminate pain.
Hi, my name is Yamuna Zake, and I'm the creator of Yamuna Foot Fitness. And I created this work because I realized people need to take care of their feet. So we created a system where you can start easy, doing it from a chair. Then you can take that to a standing position for a little more intensity. And finally, we'll do a routine against a wall where you'll have more advanced variations to choose from. We'll also show you how to do a walking assessment so you can gauge your progress. In all of these routines, we will focus on 3 areas or lines of the foot. The outside line, which runs from the outside of the heel to the little toe. The center line, which runs from the center of the heel to the middle 3 toes. And the inner line, which runs from the inner heel to the big toe. These lines will be indicated at the bottom of your screen. It's easy to add 5 minutes of foot fitness to your daily routine. With the Footwakers, you can get a great workout sitting at your desk or sitting at home relaxing. With all the routines that you're going to learn, you're going to be able to see so many different ways that you can put this work into your fitness regime. Are you ready? Let's get started. We're going to go through something I call the walking test right now. And this is a way for you to see where you can use your foot and where you still need to work so that you can achieve that full movement all the way through the parts of your foot. So everybody standing with your feet parallel, hips distance apart. Take 1 foot forward, heel first. Lean to the outside of that heel. Can you now press with strength that outside of that foot to the floor? Can you lower your little toe, then your 4th toe, then your middle toe, your 2nd, the big toe? Step forward. Take the other heel. Outside edge, press through, lower 5th toe, 4th toe, 3rd toe, 2nd toe, big toe. Heel. Lean to the outside of it. Can you press through that outside? Can you lower that little toe, that 4th toe, that 3rd toe, that 2nd toe, that big toe? Now, look and see what I'm doing. I'm taking my knee beyond my big toe. This is how a lot of people walk every day. That breaks down the arch, that causes bunions, that causes plantar fasciitis. So, general rule, knee stays over the center of your foot. Step forward to the other foot. heel, lean to the outside, bend your knee, press through. Can you lower that little toe? That fourth toe, that third, that second, that big toe, step forward. Remember to start all your foot fitness exercise with the walking test. This way you can see where you begin and then you can measure your success in doing the routines afterwards. You can do the chair routine from 2 different positions. Either lean backwards in your chair, pressing back to press more weight into your feet. Or you can lean forward, bringing your forearms on your thighs and your weight forward, pressing into your feet. It's important when you're doing the foot waker routine that you're not just going through the motions, rocking your foot back and forth. You can rock back and forth and get no results. So as you're doing this, you want to press down each part of your foot. As you're working the arch, you're wrapping that whole foot around. You're pressing those toes down. Then you're deliberately picking up your toes. You're rocking backwards. You're feeling the parts of your feet beginning to wake up. This works all the muscle chains of your legs and your feet.
Bring the outside edge of your heels directly on top of the foot wakers. Pick up your toes, pick up the ball of the foot, rock backwards into the heel. Press the heel down. Rock forward into the ball of the foot and toes. And inhale, pick up the toes. Exhale, pick up the ball of the foot, rock backwards into your heel. Do this one more time, pressing that heel down. Come down to the ball of the foot and toes. And inhale, pick up the toes, pick up the ball of the foot, rock backwards to the back of your heel. Now, step into the center of the heels. Toes are up, work on flexion. Press and reach the toes forward. Inhale, pick up the toes. Exhale, press and rock back. Do it again. Press and reach forward with those toes. Pick up your toes, press and rock back. One more in the center. Press. Stretch those toes towards the floor. Press. Inhale, pick up the toes. Press and rock back to the heel. Now, step out a little bit and place the inside of your heel on top, but don't turn your knees in. Don't turn your ankles in. Now, inhale, pick up the toes. Exhale, pick up the ball of the foot. Rock to the back of your heels. Press. See if you can press the outside, press the middle, press the inside, and lower your toes back down. Now, inhale. Pick up the toes, exhale, pick up the ball of the foot, rock back to the heel. Do it one more time. Press the heel down, wrap the ball of the foot and toes. Now we're going to work the center of the foot. That means it's between the heel and the ball of the foot. So come to the outside edge. Turn your feet on their sides. The big toe is up toward the ceiling. Rock your heel a little backwards. Now press. Bring your weight forward. Press into the outside of your foot. Wrap around. Bring the little toes down and press into the outside of the foot. Come back to your heels. And do it again. Lean your weight forward. Press right into the outside center of your foot. Wrap that little toe towards the floor. And inhale. Pick up the toe. Exhale, rock back to your heel. One more.
press and wrap that outside edge around. And inhale, pick it up. Exhale, wrap back. Now step center, so you're right in the middle of the foot, between the heel and the ball of the foot. Pick up the toes. Pick up the ball of the foot so your heel is pressed backwards. Now lean forward. Press your weight so you're pressing into the center of the feet. Now reach with your toes. Bring them to the floor. Inhale, pick up the toes. Exhale, pressing down into the foot wakers, rock back. Do that again. Lean forward. Press into the foot wakers. Reach and press the toes down. And inhale, pick up the toes. Exhale, press and wrap back. One more. Press and wrap your feet around. Press. Bring those toes down. And inhale, pick up the toes. Exhale, rock back to your heels. And now step out a little bit so you're more on the inside edge. So you're between the heel and the big toe. Pick up those toes in flexion. Lean forward. Press and reach with the toes. Press the toes down. Now pick up the toes and rock backwards towards the heels. Do it again. Lean forward, press down into the foot wakers. Reach, press those toes down. And pick up the toes and press backwards. And now we're going to do the ball of the foot. Step backwards, your heels come down. Have the outside edge of the ball of the foot on top. Pick up your heels a little. Lean forward. Press into the outside of the ball of the foot. Pick up your heels a little higher. Press into the outside edge of the ball of the foot. Now slowly lower down along the whole outside edge to the outside of the heel, back to the center heel. Do it again. Pick up your heels. Press into the outside of the ball of the foot. Try and raise your heels a little higher. Press into the outside. And slowly try and lower along the outside edge to the outside of the heel, back to center heel. Step out so the center of the ball of the foot is right on top. Heels come down. Pick up the heels. Press the ball of the foot down. Pick up your heels higher. Press the ball of the foot down. Keep your toes wrapped around the front and slowly try and lower your heels to the floor. Now pick your toes up. Pick up your heels again. Press the center of the ball of the foot down. Pick your heels up higher. Lean forward. Press into the ball of the foot. Keep your toes pressing down around the foot wakers. Slowly try and lower your heels to the floor. Now pick your toes up. Now step out one more time. Now we're in the inside edge of the ball of the foot, in line with the big toe and the second toe. Pick up the heels. Press into the ball of the foot. Pick up the heels higher. Press. Keep those toes wrapped around the foot waker. Slowly, slowly lower your heels to the floor. Pick the toes up. Now pick up the heels again. Press into the ball of the foot. Pick up your heels higher. Press into the ball of the foot. Keeping the toes on the foot waker, slowly lower the heel back down. And pick up the toes. Now we're going to do the toes. Separate the foot wakers a little bit and place just the fifth toe and fourth toe up on the foot wakers. Have your weight on the outside of your feet. Pick up your heels a little bit. Press the little toe and fourth toe. Pick your heels up higher. Press the little toe and fourth toe. Now slowly lower each part of the outside edge of the foot down to the outside of the heel, back to center heel. Do it again. Pick up your heels. press the little toe and fourth toe. Pick the heels up higher. Press the little toe and fourth toe. Now slowly lower the whole outside of the foot down to the outside edge of the heel, back to center heel. Now place the middle 3 toes on top. The rest of the foot is down. Weight is on the outside of the foot. Pick up your heels. Press those middle 3 toes. Pick your heels up higher, as high as you can. Lean forward. Press into the toes. Now transfer your weight to the outside of the ball of the foot. And slowly start to lower the outside of your foot down. Come back to center heel. Do that again. Pick up your heels. Press the toes. Pick up your heels higher. Press the toes. And transfer your weight to the outside of the ball of the foot. Slowly lower down along the outside of the foot, back to center heel. Last one. Use your hands. Separate your big toe and second toe. Keep the weight on the outside of your feet. Pick up your heels. Press the big toe and second toe. Pick your heels up higher. Press the big toe and second toe. Now transfer your weight to the outside of the ball of the foot. Slowly lower along the outside edge of your foot, back to center heel. Last one. Pick up those heels a little bit. Press those toes. Pick your heels up all the way. Press those toes. Now, transfer the weight to the outside of the ball of the foot and slowly lower along the outside of the foot, back to center heel. To finish the routine, take your feet off the foot wakers and relax. Allow yourself to feel the openness in your feet. We tend to think of the foot as a single unit that moves as one piece, but notice as you do this routine how each different part of the foot, heel, arch, ball, toes, can actually move separately. Once you can focus on the separate parts of your feet, you can get more range of motion in them, which then frees up your leg and hip movement. Bringing foot fitness to your office is a great way of keeping circulation, keeping muscle tone, while also working. You might not be able to do the whole routine like we've done just now, but you can just be pressing into the different parts of your feet, keeping the circulation, keeping the muscle tone, and keeping yourself really awake. We're about to start the foot fitness routines from a standing position. The minute you get on these with all your body weight, you begin to see, number one, how your foot is connected to the rest of your body. Because when you get on these and you start working, you're going to feel your ankles, your knees, your hips, even your spine, muscles getting longer, more toned, stronger, more flexible, your posture improving, your standing more upright. So let's start with these foot wakers. We're going to get them on the floor and we're going to begin with the outside edge of the foot. Step on the foot wakers on the outside edge. Exaggerate it. Bend the knees slightly out. Lean to one side, press. Lean to the other side, press. Bring it back to center. Step back so you're just in front of the heels on the outside edge. Knees are slightly bent out. Sink your weight down. Go over to one side, press. Go over to the other side, press. Come back to center. Step back so you're on the outside edge between the heel and the ball of the foot. And just move a little forward and a little backward, so you're going to be out of balance. Take it to one side. Bring the other toes down. Bend your knee a little bit. Press. Wake up that outside edge. Just stay there. Feel it. Take it to the other side. Press. Come back to center. Step back. The outside of the ball of the foot comes on the foot waker. The heels come down. Pick up one heel. press into the outside, and slowly lower down along the outside edge. Do the other one. Pick up the heel, press into that outside edge, and slowly lower down along the outside edge. Step back so you're only putting those little toes and fourth toes up. Stand on the outsides of your feet. Pick up one heel. Pick it up higher. Press your knee down. Now slowly lower along the entire outside edge back to center heel. Pick up the other heel. Pick it up higher. Press. Transfer your weight along the outside edge and come back to center heel. Now we're going to begin the center line. It's important as you do the center line that you don't forget the outside line that you just worked. Step back on. You're coming to the center of the heel. Bend your knees. Press. Lean over to one side. Press into the center heel. Find the outside. Press center. Shift over to the other side. Bend your knee. Press. Find the outside. Now press center. Bring your weight back to the center. Step back so you're just in front of the heel. Center. Bend your knees. Press there. Now just shift to the outside. Now press center. Shift over to one foot. Bend your knee. Press. Find the outside. Press. Now press center. Go to the other side. Lean to the outside. Bend your knee. Press center. Bring it back to center. Step back so you're right in the middle of your foot, between the heel and the ball of the foot. And just rock a little forward and backward, and forward and backward. Now lean over to one foot. Bend your knee. Press. Find the outside. Press. Now press center. And go to the other side. Bend your knee. Lean to the outside. Press. Now press center. And come back on both feet. Step back so you have the center of the ball of the foot right on top. Heels are down. Pick up one heel. Pick it up higher. Bend your knee. Press. And lower that heel straight down. Now do that again. Pick up your heel. Press into the ball of the foot. Now transfer your weight to the outside. Lower down along the outside edge, back to center heel. Pick up the other heel. Pick it up higher. Press. And lower that heel straight down. Now, pick up the heel. Pick it up higher. Transfer your weight to the outside and lower down along the outside back to center heel. Now step back. Have your middle three toes up. The rest of the foot is on the floor. Transfer your weight to the outsides of your feet. Pick up the heel. Press those toes into the foot waker. Transfer your weight to the outside of your foot. Slowly lower down along the outside back to center heel. Pick up your heel. Pick it up higher. Bend your knee. Press your toes there. Now transfer your weight to the outside and slowly lower down along the outside back to center heel. And now we're going to do the inside edge. Now the inside edge happens to be where most people break down, fall in arches, plantar fasciitis, bunions occur from constantly walking into the inside of your foot. So as we begin to do this side of your foot, you're going to see that you always start on the outside, press center, and then what's left of your weight is what goes on that inside edge, which should be hardly any. Place the inside edge of the heel on top of the foot wakers. Make sure not to drop your ankles in. You want your feet, ankles, knees, and hips in a straight line. Bend your knees. Press. Now find your outsides, press center, press what's left. Go to one foot, find the outside edge, press center, and press what's left on the inside. Hardly anything. Lean to the other side, bend your knee, find the outside, press center, and press what's left on that inside. Bring it back to center. Step back. You're just in front of the heel on the inside edge. Bend your knees. Press. Find the outside. Press center. Press what's left. Lean over to one leg. Find the outside. Press center. Press what's left. Lean over to the other side. Find the outside. Press center. Press what's left. Step back so you're between the heel and the big toe. So again, weight a little forward, a little backward, a little forward, a little backward. Do one foot. Find the outside edge. Bend your knee. Press what's left. Shift over to the other side. Find the outside edge. Bend your knee. Press center. Press what's left. Bring it back to center. Step back so your heels come down. You're on the ball of the foot, inside edge. Pick up one heel, press, and lower that heel. And pick up your heel again, and press. Now transfer your weight to the outside of the ball of the foot. Lower down along the outside, back to center heel. Do the other side. Pick up the heel, press, and lower the heel. And pick up the heel again, press. Transfer your weight to the outside and slowly lower down along the outside, back to center heel. Step back so you've got the big toe and second toe up. Spread those toes apart. Transfer your weight to the outsides of your feet. Pick up one heel. Pick it up higher. Bend your knee. Press. Transfer your weight to the outside of the ball of the foot. Lower down along the outside and back to center heel. Pick up the other heel. Pick it up higher. Bend the knee. Press. Transfer your weight to the outside of the foot. Come all the way down along the outside and back to center heel. Now, step off the foot wakers and feel the difference in your feet. You've just completed the standing routine.
The next routines we're going to do are a little bit more advanced. You're going to be leaning against the wall. And we're going to be combining the routines we did from a seated pose with the routines we did standing. And we're going to be rocking from heel to toe and from toe to heel. And as always, we're going to start on the lateral line.
For the first part of the wall routine, we're going to focus on the outside line of the foot. Place your heels on top of the foot wakers. Now, as you have the center of your heels down, come to the outsides. Turn your feet on their sides and press into the outside edge of your heels. Easy knees. Bend them just a little bit. Now, your little toe and the ball of the foot is on the floor. Inhale and pick up the toe. Exhale, pick up the ball of the foot and rock to the back of the heel. And inhale and exhale, bend your knees. Press into the outside of your heel. Wrap around the outside, lower the outside of the ball of the foot down, lower the little toe down, and one more. Inhale, pick up the toes. Exhale, pick up the ball of the foot and rock backwards. And step back so you're just in front of the heel on that outside edge. Inhale and exhale, press into the outside edge. And as you press into the outside edge, keep your body weight against the wall. Now wrap the outside of your foot around to the floor. Keep your feet in parallel. Press your little toe down and pick up that toe and rock back towards the back of your heel. And do that again. Bend your knees. Press into the outside. Rock your foot forward. Bring that little toe down. And pick the toe up and rock backwards towards your heel. Step back so you're on the outside of the foot but in the middle, between the heel and the ball of the foot. Pick your big toe up toward the ceiling. That drops your heels backwards. Now bend your knees and press all your weight into the outsides of the foot. And now rock forward. Try to bring the little toes down to the floor. And pick up the little toes and rock backward towards the heels. And do that again. Bend your knees out. Rock forward. Press into the sides of your foot. Try and touch the little toe down. Pick up the toe and rock backwards towards the heel. Step back now so that you bring your heels down and you're on the outside edge of the ball of the foot. Pick up both heels. Press your weight into the outside of the foot. Pick your heels up higher. Press your weight into the outside of the foot. Now stand over the outside of the ball of the foot. Press there. As you press there, slowly start to lower down all along the outside edge to the outside of the heel, back to center heel. Step back and place just your little toe and fourth toe up. Press those two toes down into the foot waker and relax them. And press again. Find your strength in your toes. Inhale. Pick up those heels a little bit. Exhale, hold. Inhale, press those heels a little higher. Press those toes into the foot waker. Now stand directly over those toes with your heels as high as you can. Legs are straight. Inhale. Now exhale. Bend your knees a little bit and slowly start to lower the whole outside edge of the ball of the foot, all the way back to the outside of the heel and back to center heel. And come off the foot wakers and just stand for a moment and feel that work. See if you can feel that you're standing more on the outside of the foot. Now, let's focus on the center line. Place the center of the heels on top of the foot wakers. The ball of the feet and toes are on the floor. Pick up your toes. Just the toes, so we're isolating parts of the foot. Now pick up the ball of the foot. All the weight rocks back into your heels. Your toes come up towards the ceiling. Bend your knees. And now rock the ball of the foot around and bring the ball of the foot and the toes back down to the floor. Press your toes down into the floor. Inhale. Pick up the toes. Exhale. Pick up the ball of the foot and rock backwards towards your heels. Now step backwards so you're just in front of the heels centered. Pick up the toes so they're in flexion. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knees. Press just in front of the heels. Now, find the outside edge. And now, press center. Reach with the toes and press the toes into the floor. Inhale, pick up the toes. Exhale, pick up the ball of the foot and rock backwards. Do that one more time. Press. Bend your knees. Press into the foot wakers. Keeping those toes up. Wrap forward, bringing the toes down to the floor. Now pick up the toes. Pick up the ball of the foot and wrap backwards. Step backwards so you're right in the middle of the foot. Drop your heels backwards. Toes are up towards the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, bend your knees. Press into the center of your foot. Now find the outside edge. Now press center. Now with both edges, reach forward with your toes. Press your toes into the floor. Now pick up your toes. Pick up the ball of the foot. Press down into the foot wakers and rock backwards towards your heels. Do it again. Bend your knees. Press. Find the outside edge. Press center. Reach with both feet. Press the toes down. Now pick up the toes, pick up the ball of the foot, press the outside edge, press the center, and come back toward the heels. Step back, have the ball of the foot right on top. You're in the center of the ball of the foot. Heels are down. Pick up your heels a little bit. Press the ball of the foot down. Pick up your heels a little higher. Press the ball of the foot down. Pick up the heels all the way. Stand directly over the ball of the foot. Your legs are straight. Now inhale and exhale. Bend the knees. Press. Now transfer your weight to the outside of the ball of the foot. Slowly lower all the way down along the outside of the foot back to center heel. And step back and have the middle 3 toes up. And press the middle 3 toes. And release. And press again. And release. And pick up your heels a little bit. Press. Release. Pick up your heels more. Stand directly over those 3 toes, away from the wall. Inhale and exhale. Press those toes into the foot waker. Now bend your knees a little bit. Take your weight to the outside of the ball of the foot. Slowly begin to lower down along the outside of the foot back to center heel. And step off and feel the center line and what that does to your feet. And now we'll finish with the inner line. And now let's do the inside edge. So put the inside edge of your heel just on top of the foot wakers. Pick up the toes, pick up the ball of the foot. Pressing your heels into the foot waker, rock to the back of your heel so your feet stay flexed. Now, inhale. And as you exhale, bend your knees and press the heel down and reach with the ball of the foot and toes. And inhale, pick up the toes. Exhale, pick up the ball of the foot and rock backwards towards the heels. Now step backwards so that you're just in front of the heel. Start with your toes on the floor. Inhale, pick up the toes. Exhale, rock backward towards the heel. Now as you're here, inhale, exhale, bend the knees, press a little bit. Find the outside edge, press center, and then press what's left on the inside edge. Then reach with the whole foot, pressing those toes down. Inhale, pick up the toes. Exhale, pressing back, rock back towards the heel. Again, inhale, exhale, press. Now wrap to the outside. Press center, reach, press those toes down. Inhale, pick up the toes. Exhale, rock backwards to the heels. Step back so that you're in between the heel and the balls of the foot. Bring the toes down. Inhale, pick up the toes. Exhale, press and wrap back to the heel. The toes stay flexed. Do it again. Bend your knees. Press. Now, wrap to the outside of the foot. Press center. Reach the whole foot forward. Press into the toes. Inhale, pick up the toes. Exhale, pressing through the whole foot. Wrap to the back. Step back so your heels come down and you're at the ball of the foot. Inhale, pick up the heels a little bit. Exhale, press the ball of the foot down. Inhale, pick up the heels higher. Exhale, press the ball of the foot down. Now, stand directly over the ball of the foot. Legs are straight. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knees. Press. Now transfer your weight to the outside of the ball of the foot. Slowly come down along the outside edge back to center heel. And step back with your big toe and second toe, just those 2 up. Take your hands and really separate those toes, getting as big a space between them as you can. Now find your strength in these toes. Press those 2 toes into the foot waker and release. And press again and release. Inhale, pick up the heels a little bit. Exhale, press those toes. Inhale, pick up your heels higher. Exhale, press those toes. Inhale, stand directly over your toes. Now exhale, bend your knees. Press those toes down. Transfer your weight to the outside of the ball of the foot. Slowly come down along the outside of the foot, back to center heel. And step off and stand there. Feel the work. We've now finished the wall routine.
This last variation is the most advanced variation. To be able to do this, you already need to be feeling really comfortable and confident with the other routines. This one is the most difficult because you need to combine strength, flexibility, and that rocking movement all together. You'll find that doing this in 3 to 5 minutes, you wake up all the energy in your feet, and that translates to the rest of your body.
Place one foot on the foot waker, just in front of the heel. The other foot's there for balance. You can either have it on the floor or pick it up. So pick up one foot, flex the foot. Now straighten the leg. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knee, press. Now transfer your weight to the outside. Bring your weight forward. Lower the ball of the foot. Lower the fifth toe, fourth toe, third toe, second toe, big toe. Come back to the wall. Inhale. Exhale, bend your knee and press. Lean to the outside. Bring your body weight forward, lowering fifth toe, fourth toe, third toe, second toe, big toe. Come back to the wall. Inhale and exhale, bend your knee, press. Bring your weight to the outside of the foot. Now transfer your weight forward, lowering your fifth toe, your fourth toe, your third toe, your second, your first, and come back to the wall. And step off and feel that. And let's do the second side. So you're just in front of the heel. Pick up the other foot. Flex the foot. Inhale and exhale, bend the knee. Press. Now lean to the outside. Transfer your weight forward, lowering the fifth toe, the fourth toe, the third toe, the second toe, the big toe. Come back to the wall. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knee. Press. Transfer your weight to the outside of the foot. Bring your weight forward, lowering your fifth toe, your fourth toe, third toe, second toe, big toe. Come back to the wall. Last time. Inhale and exhale, bend your knee. Press. Lean to the outside. Transfer your weight forward, lowering the fifth toe, fourth toe, third toe, second toe, big toe, and come back to the wall. Step off and let's do the walking test. Take one heel forward. Lean to the outside. Press through the outside of the foot. Lower the fifth toe, fourth toe, third toe, second toe, big toe. Step forward. Heel. Outside edge. Press through. Lower the fifth toe, fourth toe, third toe, second toe, first toe, and step forward.
So, how do you feel? You've just completed all the foot fitness routines and that walking test. I bet you were able to increase your use of your foot at the end. Everybody's got 5 minutes that they can dedicate to their feet. 5 minutes does a whole lot for the rest of your body, and it keeps your feet in shape. So thanks for taking the time to learn how to take care of your feet with the Yamana Foot Fitness routines.
Share your Footwaker success story on our Foot Fitness blog at yamanabodyrolling.com. If you'd like to become a certified foot instructor, please contact us at the email address below or call 1-800-877-8429. That's 1-800-877-8429. You can find more Yamuna Body Rolling products at yamunabodyrolling.com.